So from time to time, you encounter a perfume that is so unique, original, it catches you dead in your tracks. That is the case with this particular release by Bohoboco, and I've covered this brand before on my channel. All of their fragrances are so unique, so different, so original. This one is called Magic Mushrooms. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Magic Mushrooms by Bohoboco, I'll tell you all about this fragrance as far as the performance, longevity, comparisons, what I get from the smell. It's a very complex note breakdown. You'll see it's quite heavily populated. But before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, if you love smelling your best, discovering brand new releases, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm as well. It would really mean a lot to me. So I got this in the mail. I was pleasantly surprised by it. I expected it to be different and to smell unique and original. Look, how many times have you smelled a perfume that contains the note of mushrooms? Doesn't happen too often. And then you look at the presentation and the liquid in here has this pink orangey color, and it is really interesting. And of course I sprayed it on the test strip, and for a moment it left a bit of a coloration on it. So I wouldn't spray this on a white t-shirt, but nevertheless, this is one of the most original fragrances that I've encountered with a really interesting note breakdown. I'm going to tell you all about the smell in just a little while. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. So right as this fragrance opens up, you're gonna smell mushrooms. No, I'm just kidding. You're not gonna smell mushrooms. At least I didn't, you know? Before I looked at the note breakdown, I always think to myself, does this remind me of anything else? Are there any particular ingredients that I'm picking up on? Does it go in a particular direction as far as an olfactory classification is concerned? Is it more of an amber, a fougere, so on and so forth? I'm gonna be honest with you. The first thing that I smelled, I was in my house's mudroom and I opened up the package. I couldn't even wait to bring it into the living room, and I sprayed it in the air and it just smelled like cannabis. And I said, oh man, this is gonna be like a Killian Smoke for the Soul or a Kinski or something like that. And I said, well, wait a minute, there's something else in here. It's sweet. And I looked at the note breakdown a few days later, maybe even a week later, and I said, wait, there's nothing in this note breakdown that smells sweet. It smells, to me at least in the opening, like a combination of cannabis and mango juice. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I smelled it and I'm like, this smells like this juice that is called like immunity something or other that I get from Whole Foods. It's like the Whole 360 brand. And to me, it smelled like cannabis and mango juice. And I'm like, what's going on here? I looked at the note breakdown. There's patchouli, aquatic ingredients, there's immortelle, there's clove, there's thyme. There are aromatic properties, a little bit of citrus, grapefruit, if I'm remembering correctly. And I'm like, what is giving off this vibe? There are green notes in here. Yes, I do get the green notes. I get the weed, I get the aromatic properties, the thyme, I believe that. Immortelle, I've smelled immortelle in a number of fragrances before, and it almost kind of has, sometimes, it has this sort of maple syrup vibe, and I can't say I'm necessarily getting that here. The earthiness on account of the patchouli, yes, that is convincing, but there's like something fruity in here, and I know ylang ylang sometimes can contribute to a little bit of that sort of exotic yellow floral personality, which might be, in some cases, kind of sweet. Maybe I'm saying that because I'm so used to smelling it with like coconut. You know what I mean? Especially in like Soleil Blanc by Tom Ford. But for me personally, it's kind of like this green, fruity, juicy, citrusy, aromatic fragrance. And I don't know about mushroom. Yeah, well, maybe, because mushrooms do smell kind of earthy, I suppose. They grow on the earth. And I am getting a lot of earthy tendencies, especially on account of the patchouli and a bunch of other ingredients that are in here. This is one of the most unique and one of the most original fragrances that I've ever smelled in my life. If you're looking for something that quite literally smells like nothing else on the market, Bohoboco is a fantastic place to start. It is quite rare that you're gonna smell anything from this brand, and I had the discovery set. I smelled everything that this brand has to offer, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there is not a single fragrance in the extensive lineup where I sat back and I said, oh yeah, this kind of reminds me vaguely of XYZ scent. Not at all. There are a lot of brands out there that release fragrances that put you in the mindset of other popular releases, not this brand. Please try this one out. I am so happy, I'm overjoyed that I have this one in my collection because this is such a fantastic frame of reference. I love wearing it, that's A, but B, when I have friends over, other enthusiasts, and they haven't tried this one, I know I'm gonna be so excited and eager to have them smell it. This stuff is awesome. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is one of the most unique fragrances I've ever tried in my life. I have a collection of over 3,000 fragrances, and I can very easily and comfortably say it's hard to top this one as far as uniqueness is concerned. Overall smell, this is amazing. In terms of the longevity on this one, 8 hours on skin. It did really well as far as the longevity is concerned, but I also have a tendency of spraying on my clothing, and it always seems to stick and linger on clothes, so could contribute to that. Projection on this one was very good. For the first hour of application, it radiated at an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5, skin scent right around hour 7 or 8, I want to say. But again, lingers on clothing, just don't spray it on white clothing. In terms of the versatility, perfectly unisex, great for dressed up or dressed down scenarios. Just be a little cautious wearing this one in public on account of those green notes, if you know what I mean. But this one is great for, I think, anybody of any age, and I think this is great for any time of the year. It's not too heavy that, you know, you can't wear it in the summertime, and it's not too sweet that it's going to be cloying in the summertime. So any season, any occasion, I'd say. I probably wouldn't wear it to a job interview. In terms of the presentation, I think the presentation is absolutely beautiful with this one. I am so happy to have this in my collection. And my final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are looking for what is perhaps one of the most unique and original fragrances on the market currently, check out Magic Mushrooms by Bohoboco. This stuff is amazing. Hey, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, if you took anything of value, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell icon, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. Thanks again for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.